The Rake was a figure that was created by 4chan as a result of users coming together to create a sort of humanoid figure, kind of like a cryptid. It is about 6 feet tall, it's pale, has no facial features, usually crawls on all fours, and that's what people think it looks like, as there are no other features reported. It is usually seen in suburban neighborhoods. How did people come up with such an entity, and what is the inspiration behind it? Some people started reporting that there was an unidentified creature in the woods, were seen lurking around neighborhoods at night, and these reports date back to 1691, which shows that this entity is old. And I don't know about you, but that's quite scary. More descriptions include spindly limbs, like, again, a skinwalker. Its teeth, tiny but razor sharp. But what is most scary is that it lurks on all fours, but really low to the ground, which again makes it 10 times scarier. Three years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him up as I found out surprisingly that he was laying beside me on the bed. I apologized and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for 30 seconds, just looking at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on its knee and ran into the hallway leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, He's the Rake. She did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. After feeling helpless, and as a last resort, I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was growing insane, as you'd expect from someone who stayed up all night checking out recordings over and over again. I haven't seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he's been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me.